Good afternoon on a beautiful Labor Day outside. We are less than 24 hours away from kickoff of the season. Only one short team tomorrow playing. I think Toms River North is hosting Lacey, I think. So we're going to continue with previews of one of my top 10 teams, Red Bank Catholic. I have senior Tess Beams joining me. Tess, thank you for taking time out today and talking to me about the season.
No problem.
So practices are over, scrimmages are over. How do you think RBC looks coming into the season?
I think we're looking really good, really tight. We definitely need to get some confidence a little bit because a lot of our team is younger, so like not everybody is like totally like perfectly meshed together yet. But I think as long as we like start realizing like we are really, really good, and like I think this is the most talented team that we've had. We have a lot of girls that have like so much talent on the ball, and they're super like flashy, have great like are really good at moving the ball. So I think as long as we start realizing like we can win this, like and we are like capable of so much, I think that we're going to be really good this season.
I want to start, young team, only three seniors, correct?
Yeah.
And you and Izzy on the back line, correct?
Yeah. Hmm.
Now, how much of it, honestly, if I only three seniors, first of all, what is your message to the underclassmen? Let's start with that, being one of the leaders of the team.
So this season, my biggest goal for us is to have the best culture that we can, because I believe that if you don't have a good culture, you're never going to be able to be successful. You need that chemistry on the field and off the field, and that's the biggest thing that I believe in for soccer, honestly. Like talent aside, everything aside, like what's important is that we are all sticking together and playing for each other. And that's been my biggest message for everybody is play for each other, and then success will come. So
And, it starts with the seniors and like you said, you passing that down and that's how, RBC, the program could get back to where it was because we know the last couple of years, it kind of dipped down not to the, the standard everybody is used to when you talk RBC soccer. And, you brought up the culture and, my next question before we go more into the players, RBC went through basically they had three coaches in the past since last August. How difficult is it to, set a culture when, because obviously each coach has their own message. So how difficult as you as a player is, or, one of the leaders of the team is to get the culture where you want it when you got the turnover there. Now, hopefully we got some stability now with Coach Blue taking over.
yeah, so I think that it is difficult because our coaches, all three have been completely different, like coaches, and they all have different coaching styles. I think for like the first year, it kind of got a little bit out of hand, and like it wasn't as like great as it seemed to be. Like we had a really good season and we were very successful. And I think like sometimes that starts to get to people where like that's not their biggest concern is trying to form like a sisterhood. That's what like it's a family. So I think like once Frank left, I think with Black it started to get a little bit better because Black is like he's just like he was very like invested in the team, and like he had very close relationships with a lot of the girls because he did teach at RBC. So we had him as a teacher, whereas Frank, like we only saw him at practice really. And he was an older guy, so like it's not easy to like really like, but for and then this year I think it's a little bit difficult just because Blue is very quiet and he like it takes some time to break him out of his shell, but I think we are, and he's been really great. I really love him. Like I really like him a lot. And I think he's going to be really good for the team. And he has kind of the same views that I do about culture and is really like he's taking a lot of time to like make sure that we are including everybody. I've been including JV and varsity to make sure that the teams are both like having a good time. And I've heard a lot of feedback from some of the freshmen and they say like or some of the sophomores they're like wow like this year I'm actually having fun like for soccer and like even girls on JV like they're having fun and like they're not like obviously they're going to be upset that they didn't make varsity but they're not like it's not as bad because we're still including them with everything we still practice with them when it has to happen and I think it's going to be really good so it is like difficult but I think that we're like making it really good.
And it sounds like we're going in the right direction. And yeah, I got to know Coach Black pretty well last season, and he was definitely for the players, and I know he was hoping to turn things around, and unfortunately he moved on, and you nailed Bryant, Coach Blue, right on the head, on the quieter side. And but that might have been the direction RBC needed at the time. And what I like to, the chemistry, I say this when I do my basketball interviews. Bad chemistry could hurt really great teams that are expected to win, and great chemistry can make so-so teams overachieve. So, you as a captain realizing, we gotta get the chemistry right, that's good, and hopefully that you're able to pass that down to the future Caseys.
Yeah.
A few things, I want to talk about a few players. Well, first of all, Heidi is going to be the starting goalie, correct? Is that
Yes.
um um was it Kayleen? Kayleen? What was the last?
Kaylee Naughton. I mean,
Huh?
wait, why can't I think her name now?
Kayleen. Yeah, it's
Kaylin.
Kayleen. Kayleen.
Kaylin.
She one of the seniors played goalie last year. She's going to be playing on the field this year. Now, having a sophomore in net, but how much an advantage is it to have you and Izzy experienced veterans in front of her on the defensive line?
Um, well, I think that, last year, well, kind of like all years, we had a really good defense. Our defense has
Yes.
been very, very strong. And, not having Giovanna was really, really hard. She was great. Like playing with Giovanna is a very like it's a really good experience. She's, she wants it and she wants like she'll get what she wants. She's very good at like, so like it's sad that we couldn't play with her, but everybody else like really like stepped up and we had a really good season. Now like Sam, she like stepped up for us big. She was really good. And I think our defense has been really, really strong and really, really tight. So I think like learning like we kind of understood what we needed to do and I think we got it done. So
How big is it, for this year for Sam, getting all that, the value for, replacing when Giovanna got hurt, Sam got inserted in the starting lineup as a freshman. How big is it, the big games RBC, plays in? How much is that going to pay off this season for Sam?
I think Sam is like she literally shows no like fear at all. Like she's very, very quiet. Like doesn't like she's not very outgoing at all. So I honestly have like I've never seen that girl like I don't even know if she gets nervous or anything. She literally and then she just does great. Like she really was just a big surprise for us. And even this season she's like still in the scrimmages. She's been really showing that she's here to stay. And I really think that she's an amazing fit for our team.
Another sophomore that kind of had a breakout on the offensive end, Payton Cox. Just, how big, have one of your, top goal scorers come back, and she's only a sophomore and the experience that she got. And what do you expect out of her this season?
So Peyton, I'm so glad that she came back. She
Yeah.
had like a little bit of a time where she didn't know if she was, but I'm so glad that we have her back. She is so aggressive and she is so talented. And I'm I really think that she's going to do great things like in the future. And now, I love playing with her. She has such an amazing personality. She includes everybody and she's just really good. And I expect her to be the same as she was and be aggressive and be a goal scorer and get everything that we need done. And yeah, I'm just really excited to see her play this year. And I think that she's going to be a completely different player this year. I really do.
Yeah, she was in a tough position there too with, Mai King, who had a great career at RBC, and, Paige Voigt kind of in the same similar position. So now, with Maya graduating, Peyton would, I think, you definitely will see more, more playing time, and she had pretty good numbers, last season. Now I want to talk about Paige. Broke out a little bit last season, only a junior this year. A lot of big things being said about her. How has she looked this preseason? And do you think that she's going to break out where the short conference learns about her?
Yeah, I think she's going to be great. I mean, nothing has really changed. Like, she works so hard for what she like wants. She is always training. She just verbally committed to Maryland, so I think that's going to be very exciting for her. I think like something that people might not know is Paige plays center back for club. She
Oh,
doesn't she doesn't even play forward. So I think that like shows so much. She is so like talented as like an overall player. And I think like I just like she is so good. Like she's such an athlete. She has such a great work ethic and she has an amazing personality. And I'm like she blows me away. Like I don't know any other center backs that could play forward and fake it like she like it, you could never tell that she doesn't just play forward. She is so good and she has been so good in the scrimmages and she knows how to work for her team.
um, give me a player that you think is really going to step up that really didn't see a lot of playing time last season.
I think Ava Phillips, who is our other outside back this year, she um she's a junior. She is she's really good. She knows how to play like the flank and she she's really good. She knows how to move it through the middle and she moves up and down the line. She has great defensive positioning. I think she's going to be a threat for a lot of teams, and I'm excited to see what she could do because she was last year in the few games that she played, and I think she slept on a little bit.
Last question about this season. I'll ask what any freshman that you think is going to make an impact this season on the field for RBC on the varsity level?
So I think we have two freshmen that are fully on varsity. We have Grace Powells and Lexi Sinatra. Grace Powell's is the most technical player I think we've had. She's Noelle Powell's and Reagan
Yep.
Powell's little sister. She is just like them, like literally a spitting image. She is the same person. And she is so good. She's so technical. She really knows how to move the ball. She makes like perfect decisions. I think she's super tiny, super skinny, so she really like needs to like figure out how to get out of the pockets so that she doesn't get killed, but I think she's really good and she is going to be a huge impact for us. And same with Lexi Sinatra. She's awesome. She she's the same she's a midfielder. She again knows how to move the ball. She has a great shot. She's aggressive, so I'm excited.
I think I've been hearing about Pal since she was in fifth grade, fifth, sixth grade, maybe. So I've heard she is very, very, very talented.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about you. First, how old were you when you first started playing?
So I started playing soccer when I was 4 years old.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
What town did you?
So I played rec soccer for Long Branch. I lived in Long
Okay,
Branch.
okay.
Um, I was on a team where it was like 4 to 8 year olds and it was co-ed. So I was playing with like 8 year old boys and I was getting beat up.
Yeah, that can't be that good. It's starting
No,
out.
no.
Yeah, especially like first of all, 4 to 8 just on the girls' side, but now you're throwing 8-year-old boys
Boys.
in there.
It's like grown men playing against the little girls.
I give you credit for like I would think kids would quit, girls would quit. I
Well,
give
I
you
was like, I wasn't loving it.
I give you credit for yeah, sticking it out. Wow.
Mhm.
That's unheard like my dad ran Howell Soccer Club when, in the 90s. And I just like I can't see like my sister, I don't know if my sister would have made it through like
Yeah,
that at that age, at 4 years old, playing with 8-year-old boys. That's
yeah. I'm really
okay.
surprised I did.
Who was your first club team that you went to?
I played for Peninsula, but
Okay.
before that, I was training with SST. So like I would do the rec and then I'd play SST. And I think like SST, the two trainers I had, that was kind of the reason I stayed
It's
in.
skeptical. Yeah.
It was much better with them.
SST has some really good trainers. Could I who are the two trainers you had?
So I had Francisco Rosas, I think that's
Oh,
his name, and Cody Calafiore. He was the boys coach for
okay.
RBC last year,
Yeah.
I think.
Howell kid. I know
Yeah.
I think his brother, I think, is my sister's age.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they grew up together, I think it was his brother. Paul. Yeah, Paul, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That funny story, their dad still does stuff at Howell Soccer, like with the little kids, and he coached my nephew last year, like a year ago.
Huh?
And yeah, he yelled at my nephew quite a few times because my nephew is not focused on soccer, I can tell you that. Um, so that's what a small world. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they were pretty good soccer players in Howell,
yeah.
the Calipers. So, and after Peninsula, what club did you?
So then I moved to Ocean Township United.
Okay, okay. Did you play any other sports growing up?
Um, so I did dance like at the same time that I
Mhm.
was like doing rec soccer. And then I had to make a choice and I was like sticking with soccer. Like I would have dance recitals and practice on the same day. And I would go to soccer practice in my tutu and then go straight to dance. So I clearly liked something more.
Yeah.
Um, and then I just played like rec basketball for Oceanport because that's where I live now. I moved to Oceanport. And then I played lacrosse for RBC and I play flag football now.
Yes.
But I didn't really like lacrosse. But I like flag football. Flag football is the first sport that I've actually liked also.
Okay. That is that in volleyball is like the fastest growing sports.
Yeah, it's crazy. Flag football is insane. I don't even I was on like Jersey Sports Zone for it.
Yeah.
And I played in like an all-star. It was the first time I've ever even like touched a ball. It was
Yeah.
crazy. It's so fun and like so competitive. Would never expect it.
I didn't get to any games this spring because I was covering softball, but the year before I saw Rumson play Shore, and it was a fun game, and Ella Mason was pretty impressive for Rumson.
Yeah, really
That
good.
that game, and I know they got to play at Giant Stadium one day, I see that Jersey Sport they did something before the season, right? Last year, I think in Manasquan, I saw something that there was a
Yeah,
big promotion of play. So yeah, it's grown. It'll be a varsity sport soon enough.
yeah,
I'm curious about the numbers when it comes to varsity because the lacrosse players that do both, you're not going to be able to do both.
yeah, I
And
know.
if you do track, but yeah, some colleges are making it a varsity sport already. So
No, yeah. They were like there was like a something I got invited to and they were gonna like it was like in Texas or something and like colleges were gonna come out and watch us play, but I had soccer, so I couldn't go.
what was it about soccer that you loved so much that that was the sport that you didn't even get interested in the other sports that you tried?
I mean, my family, like my dad plays soccer. He's played soccer his whole life. He played at Susquehanna for a
Okay.
year. But he plays goalie still. Like he's in a like a good sports league or something like
Yeah,
that. So, I think like going to his games when I was little, I loved it, and I just have such like a passion for it. I love the way like it makes me feel and running, and I don't know, there's just something about it. I'm just like I can't get enough of it.
that's like me. I don't even play, but I just love watching. Now you said your dad has a soccer background. Is he somebody you could go like if you think you had a bad game, or if you is somebody you could like really you could go to and he'll help you
Yeah,
out?
100%. My parents are my biggest support system. I talk to them about everything. I'm very open with my parents. And my dad, like I've gotten to a point where like I don't have those car rides home where they're like scolding me for something. Like they know I'm old enough and I've been through it enough to know when I make mistakes, but they're always there to like give me like their own opinions and they're really great. Like my parents are super super supportive and I wouldn't be able to do anything without them, honestly.
That's great. All right, let's talk about high school. Going into high school, what were goals you set for yourself that you wanted to achieve?
Literally my only goals were to make varsity all 4 years, and I accomplished that. So,
Okay, yeah, that's especially RBC. That's a pretty good accomplishment.
yes.
Now your freshman year, were any upperclassmen that you were able to go to? Because I know it could be nerve-wracking, and anybody that guided you or you were able to go to that really helped you out during your freshman year.
Yeah, so I wasn't very like close with them for the full like year because in the beginning of the year I was a swing player, and then like towards shore conference tournament, that's when I started playing on varsity, and like I started like starting games, which is super nerve-wracking. Like my first game was Homedale RBC, and that was like our biggest rival that year. I was freaking out, but we played Toms River North and we lost, and I was playing in that game. And after I took the loss on my shoulders and I was like, this was all my fault. Like, of course, like me, it was my fault. So I cried the whole way home. And Cleo Grenard, our goalie that year, she texted me after and she like eased my mind completely. She was so nice about it and really comforting. And that was like the first time where I was like, wow, like I'm on the team, like I made it. So that was really nice. And that was like she was like the nicest person. Like even during tryouts, like she was asking the freshmen like what our names were, if we were excited to come to RBC. Like she was definitely like one of our nicest seniors. So that was like one of the seniors I really looked up to.
I'm just pulling up stats here for RBC. Um, your sophomore year, um, what were you able to take? First of all, what were you able to take away from, the pull to six that you were able to carry? What were you able to learn from losing the pull to six in the South Jersey final?
Yeah, so I mean, taking a loss is always hard, and especially like the year before we lost in finals, and that was like that game was insane. But I think always, losing is hard for us, especially us, like RBC. But I think what I took away from it is just like same thing that I always think, like we in our like when we lose those big games, it always comes from like our team falling apart from the core and us not being able to put our emotions aside and fight for each other. I think a lot of our problems the like my freshman year, sophomore year, we had a hard time coming together and not fighting with each other. Like we would always pick fights with each other on the field if something went wrong. And that's why like I feel that this year we need to be playing for each other and not against each other because it really does make you fall apart. And I think that was the biggest takeaway was don't fall apart from the inside out because it's never going to work.
Yeah. That's great advice to everybody listening too. And as a fan, of somebody going to the game, it's easy for me to pick up on that. Especially at certain schools, I would hear a lot of yelling, and those schools would not accomplish what they should have. So, chemistry. To me, it gets bad. Captain, the captain should be the one. Like if somebody met, just you know, you'll know what to say. The captains know what to say at the right time. They know how to say it. They know which players could take it as a criticism and where they'll play better, or someone you kind of console, like, hey, you'll get them next time. So, but when you have everybody on the field chirping at each other, that's when it gets really disruptive.
Yeah.
Um, and I see it in 9-year-old games where players chirping at each other at the same team. So, um, now, going into last season, your junior year, what was something you really wanted to improve on?
I mean, going into my junior year,
Yes, going into your junior year. I always
um,
see big improvement in athletes,
yeah.
whatever sport, when they go to from sophomore to junior. So, what was something you really wanted to improve on?
I really just wanted to make sure that I made my place known because Sophia Rassiopi, she graduated that year, so it was like kind of my time to shine in outside back, and I wanted to make sure that I kept up and that I showed who I truly am as a player. I wanted to make myself known, and I wanted to be the biggest impact I could, and I think I did that for the most part. So, yeah, I don't know.
What was Coach Black's message to you girls last season, when he took over the team?
Um, Black, he he just wanted to make sure that we didn't fall off, under his coaching. And he wanted us to just be a family. And his like culture was a big thing. He would bring back alumni for practices, like to make sure that we were understanding like how RBC is. And I think that he just wanted our team to be a family and not pin each other against each other. And I think that he had a tough group last year, especially coming out of Frank. I think a lot of people thought, oh, well, Black was our assistant coach and he was the guy that we could go to. So this year it's going to be a lot easier and he's not going to be as tough. But Black wanted to win and
Yeah.
Black needed to win. So he wasn't going to just put up with everybody. He wanted to win and wanted to be successful. And I don't think everybody understood that. And some people had a really hard time with it. And I think that's why things ended the way they did. But I mean, all he wanted was just win and have a family that would come together. So, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. All right, let's switch topic a little bit. We'll do some rapid fire questions, some of your favorites or whatever. Let's see. All right, what's your favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show, I think, is Pretty Little Liars.
Okay. I don't think I've heard that one in a while as an answer.
Yeah, it's really old.
Well, I get Grey's Anatomy all the time,
Oh, my
which
mom
which
loves that show.
which is weird because it's been on for 20 years. Have a favorite movie?
My favorite movie is Stand By Me.
Okay, I like
Yeah.
that. Favorite food?
Um, I really like this is a really weird, like random thing, but I really like short rib.
Okay, you're
Like
right. That is. I like it. I like it. Different than the sushi and pasta answer I get. Short rib's good. You know who has good short rib? It's in Homedale. Or no, is it Homedale? Colts Neck? Huddy's.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
yeah,
That's in
it's
Colts.
just yeah. Sometimes they have it as a special with over noodles, egg noodles. It is so good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That sounds really
So
good.
yeah, Huddy's is good too. I like Huddy's. Um, what is your favorite school subject?
Uh, I really liked physics.
Okay.
Um,
That's a new one.
but it was only because of my teacher. Like I had a great teacher for physics. So, um, yeah, but I think like most it would be English, but
Okay.
I haven't liked any English at RBC, but I do like English. I really like literature and like writing and stuff.
Okay. I hated writing in high school, and then in college, I started becoming a journalism major, and I loved writing. And I was math all through grade school, all through high school, and I hated math when I got to college. Hated it. So it's very weird how you switch.
Yeah.
What is your go-to song to get you hyped up or focused before a big game?
Oh, I listen to like really sad music.
To
Like
get you pumped
I
up?
yeah, I don't know. I have like a really sad playlist. I don't even know like any like specific songs, but like hopefully I'm gonna have to change it up for my carpools because they're not gonna want to like be playing before a game. But yeah, I listen to like really sad music.
I have some sad songs on my gym playlist. Not all, but some.
I
So,
think it just gets you like motivated to like get out of that funk.
what what is something you enjoy doing when you're not playing soccer in your free time?
Um, so I used to do theater when I was in middle school, and I really like singing, but I don't do anything with it, but I do like singing around the house.
Okay. Theater, Broadway. You go for Broadway.
Yeah, I've been to some.
Um, when your playing career is over, do you still want to be involved with the support some way,
Yeah,
coaching, training? Okay.
100%. I want to play either like old man league soccer like my dad or or I want to like maybe coach younger kids. Just I always want to stay in the community always.
All right. Good, good. All right, let's talk. I think that's it for that. I don't think I have any others. Now you are committed to. I'm drawing about Morvan. Morvan.
Moravian.
What was it about that school that you said, "Oh, I could spend my next 4 years here"?
So I wasn't even looking at Moravian. I like had no idea about it at all. And then my mom was like, "Oh, they've been like emailing you. We should go and visit." So I went to visit and I absolutely fell in love. I think the campus is beautiful and it's a small school and that's like exactly what I need. I need like my professors to be like one-on-one with me and like know who I am, not just be a number. And that's not how it is at Moravian. They're really involved. And Coach Yukurek is amazing. He has a really good program going for him and he really takes care of his players, and it's just like everything that he said sounded amazing to me, and I absolutely love it. The girls seem amazing, and yeah, I really could like once I stepped on, I could really picture myself being there. So I really fell in love.
How big is it when you're on these visits that the current players you get that connection with them when you're on these visits?
Yeah, I think it's huge. Not a lot of like colleges really like sometimes you go and the girls are kind of like standoffish, like but like I think that the girls are really amazing and I've only been to like a couple schools where I've felt like that. So I think it's really important.
Do you know what you want to study?
I want to study psychology.
Psychology. So that answers my next question, what you want to do after.
Yeah, I want to be a therapist.
That was my sister's major,
Oh, really?
psychology. Yeah. All right, here's my last question. What advice would you give your younger self?
I think not listening to everybody's opinions about you and kind of finding the confidence within. I have always struggled with confidence and I've battled with it. And I think like kind of once you grow up, you realize like you know yourself better than everybody else, and you need to do what's best for you, and you know what you're capable of. So just get some confidence and do what you got to do, and everything will come to you.
All right, that's great. That's great advice. Definitely block out everybody. All right, Tess, thank you for taking time out today to do this interview. I really enjoyed it, and good luck this season, and good luck Wednesday against Allentown. They're always a tough team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you
I
played
felt
them
like
last year, didn't you?
yeah, we played them last year, and I'm pretty sure we beat them like 2-1, I
2-1, I
think.
think so.
Yeah.
My friend ref that game. Yeah, yeah, I think
Oh,
you were
really?
2-1. Yeah. Bruce, do you know Bruce? I probably shouldn't be saying that in public that he was my friend ref that game.
Oh,
So
I think yeah.
I think he ref that game. So all right. Well, I wish you luck. Good luck to RBC, and I'll be seeing everybody on the fields very, very soon.